Hey, I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Derek.
And we're the Dries, and you're watching The
Libby
Libby Show.
How did she do it? Do it. Do it. Do it.
Libby. Libby. Libby.
3, 2,
Libby.
1.
It's the Libby Show.
What's up, everybody? Libby O here with the Libby O Show. Tonight, I'm going to be making some wonderful cocktails with my good friends, country duo Derek and Caitlin from the Dries.
Howdy.
We're going to be going over some of the music that they have released over the past couple months. But first, we're going to talk about some mixology tips from Derek, because this is his forte.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I'd like to talk about what to have on hand. We have a specific product that I'll get into later, but I like to keep a certain amount of bourbon, gin, tequila. She doesn't like vodka that much, so I don't really buy that much.
Yeah, it's all right.
I sound like an alcoholic by this point, but I'm actually not. In moderation, just so you know. But yeah, to jump right into it, I usually keep some kind of like bitters. You might have heard like an old-fashioned. Just to get into the basics, there's something called Angostura bitters. There's a ton of different other kinds of things, but I would just kind of Google old-fashioned and get those basic needs. But I think it just to make it simple, there's a company here in Nashville called Withco. Stands for With Company, I would assume.
Which is what we're doing here with
We're
company.
hanging in the
is.
backyard,
So thank you.
bonfire.
It all makes sense. And they were kind enough to sponsor this this shindig.
Shoot, yeah.
And literally, they make it really simple in the bottle. So we're literally just gonna pour like 1.5 ounces of this and 1.5 ounces of whatever liquor that you like. So whatever
what's
that
this one
preference
called?
is.
This is called the sweater weather.
I love it. It says hashtag sweater weather.
Yes.
I love
Do
that.
they all have hashtags?
That I think they do.
Oh, they don't. Yeah.
So
this one's
go.
extra special.
So if you drink it, hashtag it.
So sweater weather has apple, honey, cayenne, which is nice, and clove. You could heat it up or add ice. I think because it's sweater weather, you can probably even put it on the stove, and it's kind of like a hot toddy.
What would you choose to do personally?
Oh, it depends. We're kind of in the beginning of fall, I would say.
Yeah.
So I still
it
like
on
the
ice?
cold drinks.
Yes.
So, and we're outside. The next one is a gin based. Really, you can mix it with a whiskey, vodka, tequila, gin, or whatever. But I think it calls for gin just because some lemon, raw honey, and bee pollen.
Good for the
And
allergies.
Just sounded good.
100%. And I remember you mentioning this was one of your favorite flavors. Is there a
Yes.
reason for that?
I don't know. I think it's because the honey. Anything with honey in it, I make my own like simple syrup and honey syrup, which is literally it's pretty easy. You just boil some water and honey at a certain ratio and then mix it in the drink. But they put some extra stuff in here, which is kind of why I like them.
Yes.
It's more of a novelty thing where you get extra ingredients like the bee pollen and all that. That's why I like this.
Fresh ingredients, though, no additives or preservatives.
Boom.
Love that.
I know, right?
Okay.
About to make
That's
an ad
amazing.
in the middle of the episode here.
Did you get on a Zoom call for that? Or?
You know what? Maybe, maybe
information?
not. That's awesome. And then this one,
Yep.
which is the one that Caitlin's going to try out.
Yes.
Yep, I would say standard margarita, but looking at the list here, it's got some orange in it as well, and agave, something extra special.
a good marg.
That's why I like them. We can make them now if you'd like.
Yes, let's
You
do
want
it.
to?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's start with Caitlin's.
The margarita.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
something cool. I need something to cool me off.
So we got to talk about why Casamigos.
Ooh, so good.
It's George Clooney's brand. That's the only reason. For anyone watching who likes tequila, I personally like Reposado, which means it's just been aged just a little longer. I think it's after 3 months or something.
Really good.
Blanco tequila is clear, hence the term Blanco. But Reposado seems to do the trick for my palate.
And I love that bottle because one of our friends gave it to us as a gift when our last single came out. So,
That's right.
Which we're going to be talking about that single in a little bit.
So I'll just follow the directions here. 1.5 ounces of this into a shaker glass. It's not a glass, it's a shaker. So into the shaker.
A tin shaker.
Beautiful.
Boom.
Is that like the correct way to pour?
I wasn't even thinking about it. So if it looked good, then
Is it
sure.
good? Yeah.
We're going to have our own cocktail, our own bar one day. It'd be kind of cool if it was like backyard with the Dries bar. I don't know.
Or just the Dries bar.
The Dries bar.
Dry bar.
There we go.
Instead of
There it
like-
is.
I love that. So good. I
What would
love
be
that.
okay? So what would be like your signature cocktail?
My signature?
One of the yeah.
So it's kind of similar to a margarita, but it's called the Jushu.
It's a pretty foolproof cocktail.
But it's
You
similar
have-
to a margarita.
Yeah, you have your honey simple syrup, which is maybe similar to agave.
Yeah.
But I always put this Angostura bitters, which is what you put in old fashions, and you shake it with a little lime, and
So good.
you got to get
Love
the
it.
ratios right. But just Google it. I'll put them in the description, maybe. I don't know.
And
That's
he
kind of
puts
my
our
signature that I always make with different sorts of liquor. So
and he puts our cups in the freezer to make them extra cold.
Okay,
So
about
it's really
that.
cute.
all the things.
Do you have specific,
all about the vibe,
specific
you know?
types of like ice trays that you like to use? Or are you the one like
I'm
the-
always changing it up.
Yeah.
My buddy Corey here, we're actually filming at his house. I would like to say that he's an expert. He taught me a lot of things, but he has this clear ice that I talked to him about the other day, and then I watched a series of YouTube videos about it. So I like the clear ice because it doesn't melt as much, but honestly, I'm just gonna grab what's in the freezer half the time.
Yep.
So
Love it.
that being said, I'm gonna shake this up.
I love it.
There you go. I got you.
A nice cold marg. So good.
Yes.
Cheers, right?
You want a little garnish?
Yes.
Go for it. Just throw it in.
Super cute. Love it.
Love it.
Drink one down.
Yes, drink one. I'm going to taste it and see what it tastes like.
First response, honest response.
I love it. I love it because it's not super tart, and super tart is like not my
Too much
fave.
for you? Yeah.
That's a lot of people's favorites, but not mine. So it has like a good amount of sweet, but also like refreshing and citrus. I love it. It's really good.
Sweet. Next.
Awesome. Let's
So
do your favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which is the bourbon.
Bourbon.
Can we taste it?
Yeah, I want to taste it.
It's so good.
Oh, that's good.
Is it?
I love it.
Cheers.
Make sure you get our lipstick mark.
I know, right?
Super cute.
That was some extra garnish there.
All right. Let's do the bourbon one. So
Sweater weather.
looks like the same thing. Sweater weather. This one you can actually heat up. I'd like to try that later. Ounce and a half. Really, it's the same ratio, 1-to-1. So whatever you'd like.
I need to
And here's
learn
my
how to
bourbon.
make cocktails.
This is a really pretty bourbon bottle, by the way.
We got
Thanks.
it in North Carolina, which is our
Okay.
hometown, and I love it because it has wheat on it. And wheat has been a big part of my life this year. I'm in a girls group, and we talk a lot about the wheat field, and so it has wheat on it. It's a little side story.
Beautiful.
Spilled a little bit. Got a little excited.
Spills a little bit.
All right. This looks
Very
great.
nice little garnish here.
Jump the
There you
gun.
go. Yes.
Super
that's good.
cute.
Wow, that's great.
What's your favorite part about it?
The apple's pretty subtle. It's good.
I want to
Yeah.
taste it.
You can taste the clove. What I like about it is just it's really easy. Give me that back.
So good. I really like that. I
That
feel
is
like
good.
Let's
Like
go to what's next.
I feel like these are like really nice mixes. Like
They're really light.
flavors instead of like like sometimes you go to like a
Uh-huh.
old rundown bar on like Broadway in Nashville, and and the drinks
Which have
are
their
like
purpose.
which are great for a late night hang, but I feel like this is like a step up from like the typical syrups that bars use, which I think is like awesome. It tastes so good.
and it's easy to make too,
Yeah.
which is what I love about it.
Yep.
I don't have to buy a bunch of ingredients.
Yes,
you don't really
all in
get
there.
novelty and convenience much.
And then last but not
So you like gin?
least, I
gin
love
drink.
gin.
Cool.
And
Let's give it a
I had
go.
a friend once that told me, he's like, that sounds like something you would have liked in college. And I was like, no, I was more on the wine end of things. So gin
Yep.
came post-college. Well, honestly, because I feel like it goes with so many different flavors. And so I don't have to worry about it not tasting
Yeah.
right with.
Pretty
And I'm a huge-
floral, but it mixes well.
Oh, you're good.
So I like
yeah.
this one. I like this one because it's the honey sour, which is kind of like a whiskey sour, but we're going to switch up the liquor. So instead of whiskey, has some suggestions on the back, but we're just going to do the gin one.
Yum. Why'd you pick that gin, babe?
Good value, if I'm being honest. More for your money. It's a convenience thing. I like to serve a lot of friends. but having a budget helps.
It does.
So I can
Yes.
serve more friends.
What do y'all love most about having friends over to enjoy cocktails or just to hang out? Like, what's your favorite part about that sort of community there?
I don't know. I think it's inherently creative because you're mixing different ratios, and it's something that I can, just get into with different things and kind of experiment with and actually serve someone doing that. One, because it would work out better at the end of the night where I'm obviously not drinking everything in front of me, so
Right.
I never do.
You
So
need to share it.
And it's just fun to have friends together. And I don't know, it's like I always tell people with Derek when he meets somebody and he says, you need to come over for drinks, I'm always like, that's his love language, because that really means he cares when he's like, come on over, I want to make you drinks.
all right, last drink.
Yes.
Here it is.
Libby O's cocktail. The
Yep.
honey sour gin.
Last but not
Yes.
least.
When you're hanging out with friends, have you ever come up with a cocktail like on the spot with friends over before and ended up really enjoying it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
which
yeah,
ones?
what's-
I don't know. We'll just try things that are out of the formula.
We did, so during quarantine, we've been doing a lot of live streams.
Uh-huh.
And this news media outlet in Nashville called Nashville Noise, we did a takeover with them.
Oh yeah.
And that was right after Tiger King had come out. So
We had just watched it. so-
what was the drink called? A Tiger King? Or was it called
Yeah.
or was it, I can't remember. It was called the Tiger King.
Yep. It had some honey and maraschino in it, and
And he made his own little cocktail
aesthetically
recipe.
it looked like orange and black. And
It was like a tiger
What?
stripe.
It was fun.
It was so cool.
That's so awesome.
So we got on there and he made the drink and then we did a little song. It was fun.
Let's let that float.
Look at that.
Super cute.
Try it. Moment
It
of
matches
truth
your
right here.
scarf.
Look at
I
that,
love
guys.
it.
Let's get a cheers right here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. New friends, good drinks,
New drink.
good hang.
I'm okay.
Caitlin,
with
you're
it.
gonna like gin
So good.
after this.
I need to taste it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
switch
need
it
to
up.
taste it.
Change your mind. We're gonna change your mind on gin. Still?
I love it. No, that's very good. I love it.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, seriously, all three of those are really, really tasty.
Yeah, it's pretty refreshing.
Love it, guys.
So good.
Well,
Cool.
thank
This
you for
was
making
fun.
all three of these cocktails.
love it.
Absolutely.
And now we're
Yeah.
gonna go enjoy them by the fire, and also enjoy a marshmallow plate
Yes.
from our good friends at Milk and Honey Food Co.
Yes.
Lots of fun treats and celebrations going on here. So
Awesome people.
cheers to all of you.
Cheers. See you soon.
All right, see ya.
I literally automatically just did one pink and one. That's perfect right there.
All right.
Get the crusty outside, creamy middle.
Our marshmallows.
Cheers. I've never done a marshmallow cheers.
Milk and Honey Food Co.
What if we did a s'mores with like cookies?
You always hit me in the face with that.
I'm gonna do that.
Those burnt crusties.
Here, you do your thing, but
What are we? So what? Oh, I'm gonna.
I'm just making it up.
I was never a Girl Scout and kind of missed out on it, so I'm gonna trip you.
I wasn't either, but I was never a Girl Scout. Pink s'mores, chocolate chip.
Here, Eva, we
Dark
come here and get a
chocolate.
picture of us with our, Derek and I with our
wow.
s'mores little bite.
Oh man.
Yes,
This is. Yeah. Over.
that was worth it. I didn't realize how hungry I was.
What's the Yelp rating?
5.2
So good.
out of 5. Thank you, Milk and Honey.
Revolutionary. Thank you, Milk and Honey.
Yes.
Alex, you're the best. So we just mixed up some amazing cocktails with the help of Withco
Thank you.
Cocktail
Yes.
Company.
Yes.
So thank you very much for providing the wonderful mixers and garnishes. And thank you, Derek,
Of course.
for
Hey, I poured it. I read the directions.
read the directions. You gave a couple of your own personal
Yep.
tips here.
You were on
Yes.
the Zoom call. You got all the
Oh.
little tidbits.
All the
little
the
answers.
fine print there.
I love it.
Cheers to the fine print and
Yes.
a good cocktail.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
going off of that, your creativity with mixology, you're of course musicians, and you both make music together, and so you just released a single called Yes, which I think is absolutely stunning. You released an
you.
Wow, thank you.
acoustic version. So talk about what that song means to you and why you also look to these other artists who have been such a great example of what it means to love each other.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
ahead.
well, I mean, that song is probably one of our favorite songs because if there was one song I could say that is us in a whole, I mean, all of our songs are, but that song is just kind of what we want to tell the world is like your commitment is actually a beautiful, sexy thing, and it's not something that you should be scared of commitment like marrying somebody.
Yeah. To be content with.
Because nobody's
it's more than
perfect,
that.
and it's like, I mean, we're going to choose that the rest of our life. And nobody's perfect, so you wake up and choose that every day, no matter if it's a good or bad day or through people's flaws. And I think, we did a whole series when our song came out on couples that we are friends with and look up to.
Yeah.
And one of the couples on there is Johnny and June, and we love Johnny and June because I think their relationship was very reckless in a lot of ways, but also the way that she loved him through his flaws was just so beautiful, and just reading about their story. So yeah, we love Johnny and June, and they are a couple that we really look up to, and we love the sounds of their music, and we hope that our music touches people the way that the oldies do, the way that the songs, like a song like our song, Yes, we pray that it would be around for years for people to listen to and go back to and be like, yeah, that song came out and I heard it whenever my husband and I were on our last straw, and we made it.
Wow.
And we heard these lyrics, and it encouraged us to go back and say sorry, or go back and say I choose you no matter what. So
Man, I'd like to add too that it honestly takes a lifetime to know someone, and I'll never know Caitlin the way that God, her creator, knows her. And I feel like for me to have a moment where I have her figured out is like I feel like I'm always humbled in that moment. Or I have a chance to choose, to back away, and I don't want to say I have it perfect every time, but like there's some moments where, I definitely say no instead of yes, but I know the goal of it is to take off where each other leaves off, in a sense, with each other's flaws. And I feel like as long as that's the goal, and we're teachable as humans, whether that's friends or, marriage or whatever, like I just feel like there's something to be said for living life to the fullest that way, and just saying yes to this short life.
That's so well put. Can you expand more on just the concept of life being a choice, things that you do in life being a choice? So obviously, y'all's committed to each other, but choosing to do music together. Like what is that like? How do you?
That took us a while to figure out, if I'm being honest. But like, I feel like we have.
I kind of want to tell a story really
Go
fast.
ahead, you go for it.
So, I mean, we do have a lot of times people ask us, your marriage just seems so perfect. Like, what is it like? And I'm like, our marriage is not perfect. Like, when we first started doing music together, I stormed out of one of our rehearsals one day because he corrected me in front of our band members. And I literally like stormed out and was like, I'm done. I'm leaving this rehearsal. And like, I look back on moments like that to how we've grown now. I mean, we've been together 12 years, and it's just been a constant, like, going against what you feel in the moment and realizing that you're not always right. And so I look at that instance, and it makes me laugh now. It made me cry then because I was upset.
Yeah.
And I look at the way we work together now, and I see how we've stayed planted, and we've kept one foot in front of the other, and we just work really well together. I mean, he picks up the pieces that I lack on, and I pick up the pieces that he misses out or lacks on, and we'd rather do it together than by ourselves. I mean, I know so many solo artists, and I just would never want to do that without him, because I'm like, it's not as fun.
We have to tell each other like what we're grateful for almost daily, because otherwise, we all complain in some matter of
and it's easy,
like
during this quarantine especially, to find something to complain about, you know?
But if you choose to find purpose in it, it's not that was made for that purpose, but there's always something to be made good out of it, and not just to flip a negative to be positive, but there's literally a way to live out of that gratefulness. Even if you take sports, Michael Jordan said, like, I'm not going to worry about a shot that I haven't taken yet.
Right.
So why would I worry about playing out a scenario, even if it's statistically possible that it, might not be a fun scenario. Like the fact that we are walking through life together and we get
Yeah.
to make music together, that's a priority above
And that
so
means
many
like
things.
we make music together through mistakes. We make music. I mean, we're doing
Hey.
life together. Period. So we're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna fail, but we're also gonna win. And
half
that's
the
what it's
time,
about.
half the time the music's better because of that.
Yeah.
In a day where
That's how
you know,
we can write good songs is because we've been through some crap. You
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I mean, as a producer, I can drag and drop so many things and quantize them to be perfect. But like the human ear remembers things that aren't perfect. Like
Yeah.
there's if everything is quantized to be right on the beat, all these I'm getting real deep.
Yeah,
here.
you're like going into production
Sorry.
levels.
All,
here.
all these sound frequencies kind of blend together and you stop hearing things. So
Yeah.
if things are actually hitting on different beats.
You get ear fatigue.
Yeah. There you go.
She's
wow.
a producer, guys.
Are you an audio engineer?
Not only a talk show host, she's a
Enough for podcasting
producer.
that I was like, so I will have to say, like,
Yeah.
even as somebody that, so I used to, well, I still do, will record my own narrations. And there are times where I'm like, I don't think I can read this out loud anymore. I'm going to have to take a minute. And then
Yeah.
I'll come back and be like, wow, that is not what I wanted
Yeah.
to record.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
There's something about going outside for literally 3 or 5 minutes.
Yes.
#quarantine and just hearing, your own breath or like the wind in the air or something, as cheesy as that sounds.
Yeah.
You just
I mean,
need
it's
30
true.
seconds of it and your ear actually retunes. I mean, what if life was that way when we just
What if we could
approached
retune life?
breaks that way?
I'd be all about it.
Yeah.
What's something really quickly that you both individually appreciate about each other?
I always
I'll let
know.
you go first.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Come
Tell me
on,
about
flatter
yourself.
me. Come on.
I always know that Caitlin has the purest heart, like the motivations, and I feel like no matter what the idea is, I feel like she's already played out the scenarios and the reasons why she thinks that way, not just because it'll be a cool idea or whatever. And I just feel like you're a deep well that like also happens to be an extrovert who can turn on the party pretty quick. So
Awesome.
that's my life.
Well, thank
That's
you.
Caitlin.
That's me, y'all.
My turn.
I'm like, that's so sweet. I think for me, like the thing I love most about you is that you listen really well. And being somebody who's very extroverted, I really appreciate when because a lot of my friends are extroverted. And, when you're
Sure.
around someone who's the same energy level as you that's constantly just like going, I really appreciate when he can just like listen to how I'm feeling or whatever an idea I have that might seem so crazy because my ideas are always like, I'm always just thinking. But I just think it's beautiful that he can like sit and listen to me without talking
figure it out.
through it or like
Yeah.
stopping me to interrupt me. He can just listen and then he'll give me his thoughts, which I always respect because his thoughts are always bringing me a little bit higher than I should be. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
awesome.
love that.
Yeah.
Babe.
Lots to look up to, guys.
Wow.
The Dries
Hey.
right here.
We're not perfect, but we're
And
Cool.
really quickly, where can people, check out your music, follow you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are on all social media, TikTok, as the Dries. It's all
There's
the
so
Dries.
many.
Which is really good, by the way, guys.
Our TikTok, our TikTok involves the Dry fam. So you will see my mom and his family on it, my nieces, and then obviously Instagram, Facebook, and you can get our music on any platform that you listen to music, where you stream, download, buy. But yeah, any of those, it's just under the Dries.
Yep.
So
DRYES. The
Yes.
Dries.
Dries.
That's us.
Thank you so much for being on the Livio Show. I really
Yes,
appreciate it. This is
we're
so
so
much
excited.
fun.
It's been a blast.
Yes.
so fun.
One last cheers.
One last
Yes.
cheers for good measure.
I love
To the
it.
road.
Yes. All right, guys, take care.
Cool.
Till death do us part. You have my heart until the end. That's what we said. They were words that we meant, but haven't always kept. So hard to give the things you wanna get, but I do when you don't, and you will when I won't. When we can't see eye to eye, just need your space. When you're too tired to fight, 'cause my sorry comes too late. You have my dreams and my regrets. I got it together in my mess. I'll take your words Libby Show. The Libby Show. It's the Libby Show. It's the Libby Show.